Okay, just wanted to make this note as well. In addition to the 241 plan, which was, I think, the last video, looking for documentation that proves that the government agents are the one who brought that up, you guys sent me the interview by Gary Frenchie with Rick Wose and Michael Badnarik. There's also, I've heard the story that Schaeffer had a domestic incident with his wife, and it was blown way out of proportion. The CPS Child Protective Services were sent in to get involved. They wanted to interview Schaeffer's 2-year-old son, or maybe his 1.5-year-old son, outside of the presence of the parents. So the Child Protective Services wanted to separate the son from the parents to interview the son. Schaeffer outright refused that, which I consider absolute normal behavior. Michael Badnarik, in an interview with Gary Frenchie, said something to the effect the FBI concocted a plan to threaten the life of Schaeffer's son in order to get Schaeffer to commit some sort of violence. So there was a video that you guys sent me, and around it's called Liberty Advocate Framed by FBI, the Schaeffer Cox Story, put out by the Next News Network. And I wanted just to read what they said. I wrote it down, and I'll put this in the information bar so you'll have it as well. But on April the 22nd, 2014, the Next News Network YouTube video that I just titled, at 12 minutes and 44 seconds, Michael Badnarik says this: "The FBI admitted in a recording that if we try to kidnap Schaeffer's son, the FBI admitted in a recording that if we try to kidnap Schaeffer's son, that Schaeffer would probably resist, and that would give us, the FBI, the excuse we need to shoot and kill him. And once we have killed him, and the Schaeffer Cox problem goes away. Now, that recording was never allowed at trial, so clearly if the jury had heard that recording, it would demonstrate in very clear terms that the FBI was attempting to fabricate evidence or create a situation to give them the justification that they wanted to kill Schaeffer. What many people don't know is that as Schaeffer became more and more aware of this FBI scheme, he was trying to leave Alaska, and he was going to avoid the situation. I'm told he was going to bring his wife and children to the lower 48 states and run and hide from the FBI. And the undercover FBI agent stole the battery out of his car so that Schaeffer was immobile, could not leave town, and told Schaeffer a lie. He told Schaeffer that there was a truck driver who was willing to smuggle his family out of Alaska, and this truck driver, I think they refer to that truck driver as Han Solo from time to time, was going to be arriving very, very soon, and it caused enough of a delay so the FBI was finally able to arrest Schaeffer in Alaska." Gary Frenchie asked, after Michael Badnarik makes that statement, Gary Frenchie says, "So this tape recording that was never allowed in court, who is responsible for ignoring of this evidence?" Rick Wose replied, "Well, we don't know the exact details because, we weren't there for the trial, but I have a good handle on legal cases and criminal cases, especially the feds. One of the specialties is that they withhold exculpatory evidence that would show your innocence, and they prepare only the evidence that shows your guilt. Now, I don't know the exact details, but it probably wasn't just one recording. They probably recorded him several times, and what takes place is these thugs, these undercover agents, provocateurs, meeting with him saying, 'We want to kill the government, we want to have violence.' And Schaeffer's like, 'Whoa, that's not my agenda. I talk about the Constitution.' Well, they became enraged that Schaeffer wasn't going along with their plan of violence, and Schaeffer the whole time didn't even know these guys were FBI agents. So there probably were several recordings that, if they were played in their entirety, or maybe even if allowed, that his defense could play portions of it, it would show that he rejects violence. But of course they don't do that in order to they won't allow that so they can convict him. They actually wanted to kill him, not convict him. They actually wanted to shoot him while trying to apprehend him." I think that's an important background, that he had this thing going on with the CPS. The Child Protective Services wanted to separate his child, and then you have all these undercover agents bringing up all kinds of stuff. And if there's a recording of the FBI saying that if we kidnap Schaeffer's son, it'll provoke him to violence and give us the excuse we need to kill him, we need that recording, right? But of course, the FBI doesn't release any recordings that show any exculpatory evidence or show the innocence of Schaeffer Cox. They only allow the recordings that show the guilt. or even he's not even guilty, but it's just they show any recordings that make him look bad. Okay, enough for that.